I've seen it happen a lot. Someone spots a sleek replacement part on a listing, clicks add to cart, and then when they actually try it on their machine, the fit is off, the seal leaks, and the whole cooking plan falls apart. That kind of disappointment is the exact reason I'm doing this deep dive on the chamber lid for the Ary Vp540 Vacmaster vacuum sealer. If you're on the fence about whether this little piece of hardware is worth the spend, stay tuned. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, let's get clear on what problem this lid is trying to solve. The Ary Vp540 is a chamber vacuum sealer that many home chefs and small business food prep folks use for everything from sous-vide cooking to bulk meat packaging. The original lid that comes with the unit does a solid job, but it's a part that can wear out, crack under frequent temperature swings, or just get misplaced during a busy kitchen shift. When that happens, you're left with a chamber that can't close properly, which means you either have to stop sealing or improvise with a makeshift cover that never seals as tightly. That's why a dedicated replacement lid matters. It restores the machine to its full functionality without any DIY hacks. Now, who actually needs this? If you already own an Ary Vp540 and you've either lost the original lid, cracked it, or you simply want a spare so you can keep one on the counter and one in the back of the cabinet, this is the exact part you're looking for. It's a direct fit, no need to file, no need to buy adapters, and it bolts right onto the sealing ring the way the factory piece does. The convenience factor is huge for anyone who runs the sealer multiple times a day, like a catering service preparing hundreds of portion-controlled meals, or a home user who's turned sous-vide into a nightly habit. In those scenarios, downtime because of a missing or broken lid can throw a whole schedule off. On the flip side, if you don't own the Ary Vp540, or you're thinking about buying a different Vacmaster model, this lid won't help you. The chamber dimensions and sealing mechanism are specific to the Vp540 series, so trying to force it onto a smaller or larger unit will likely damage both the lid and the machine. Also, if you only seal once a week and you keep the original lid stored safely, you might not feel the urgency to replace it. In that case, the extra cost of a spare could be better allocated to other kitchen tools. Let's talk about practical strengths. The biggest win here is the exactness of the fit. Users who have watched installation videos or unboxed the original often mention that the lid slides into place with just a quarter turn and a gentle click. That means you won't have to wrestle with alignment issues that can happen with generic aftermarket covers. Another real-world advantage is that the lid maintains the same thermal profile as the stock version. When you run a vacuum cycle that also includes a heat seal step, the lid gets hot enough to seal the bag properly, but it doesn't overheat to the point where you can't touch it with a kitchen glove. That balance is critical because you want a lid that can handle the heat without turning the entire chamber into a safety hazard. There are a couple of trade-offs worth mentioning. The lid is made from the same metal as the original, which means it conducts heat quickly. For some users that's fine, but if you're sealing very delicate items that can't tolerate a sudden temperature spike, you'll need to be extra careful when opening the chamber after a cycle. Also, because it's a metal lid with no extra insulation, it can become uncomfortable to handle immediately after a long sealing run, something that the original lid also suffers from. But it's a reminder that you still need to use oven mitts or let it cool a few seconds before pulling it off. Finally, the packaging is fairly minimal. You get the lid in a plain box without the extra padding you might expect for a metal part. If you're shipping it to a home kitchen, a little extra caution during unpacking is advised. Real-world use cases bring these points into sharper focus. Imagine you run a meal prep service that packages 200 individual portions a week. You need to keep the vacuum